Welcome back, ladies. Let me ask you this. If your life is a story with you, of course, being the main character, who's in your supporting cast? And just as importantly, who is cramping your style, preventing you from shining? In the first episode in this series, New Year, Fresh Start, How to Use January for Self-Reflection and Life Transformation, you identify what you wanted, why it mattered, and how you will be feeling once you arrive at your intended goal. You also gave your story a title and also created some actionable steps that will take you to your spot. In this follow-up to episode 1, we're going to talk not about the what, but the who. The people who will support you in your story moving forward. After all stories must have characters, right? So who are you ready to keep or maybe let into your life, and who has to exit stage left? This is what I call the displacement process, my own term. So we'll focus on identifying the relationships that may no longer serve you, understanding how to make space for the right people who uplift and inspire you, how to identify these people and make space for them, right? And then take practical steps to curate your supporting cast for the next chapter of your story. It's a simple process. You're going to have fun. My name is Golda. Welcome to my channel, our channel. It's a space where we come together to embrace the beauty, the wisdom, and the fierce spirit of life after 50. I'm really happy you're here to share these moments with me. We all know that when you get into your 50s, 60s, and 70s, you're going to know a whole lot of people. That's a fact. But I think at this stage of our lives, we should be going more for quality, not quantity. Don't you agree? So then it's time to do some trimming. We got to let go of those relationships where we're no longer relating and make room for new connections that nurture and energize us. These will be your supporting cast as you move into your new phase. So let's start with the displacement process, that sensitive process of releasing those relationships that have to go. It's going to take a lot of strength, okay, but you got it. These may include some of your closest connections in your life. It could be a partner whose presence no longer feels supportive or fulfilling, or maybe a sibling where tensions, have become unmanageable, or in some heartbreaking cases, even a child, if the relationship has broken down beyond repair. And then there are those friends whose ships have sailed. You know the ones. You no longer have anything in common with them, because over time and maybe distance, your priorities have changed, your interests have evolved, and that can cause that separation to happen. Or maybe you have friends where you're always the one reaching out, calling and inviting, while the other person just sits back and remains what I call a taker. Even when you realize that your values, your interests, that they're no longer aligned, you still feel a little bit reluctant to let go. But you have to. Letting go almost opens the door for relationships that truly nurture and uplift you. It's never easy to confront these truths, but if we're committed to being true to ourselves and stepping into 2025 with a focus on creating our joy, we must accept that some things and some people may need to be left behind. Again, like I said, it's not easy removing people from your life. I mean, these are individuals that we loved at one time, with whom we shared our deepest, darkest secrets. In my case, it was a spouse and a couple siblings. Look, I was in a marriage where I grew to feel invisible. Communication, socializing, intimacy, and respect had all been replaced by a cold indifference. With regards to a couple of my sisters, over the years I found that our relationship had become increasingly strained. Our conversations often ended with me feeling attacked, disheartened, and emotionally drained. Actually, I felt really sad, especially when I remembered the good times we had growing up together. And maybe they felt the same way too. I don't know. But deep down, I knew that I deserved better. And you know what? Once I brought that awareness from deep down to the surface, it was incumbent on me to act on it, to do better. When you find yourself in a relationship, whether it's with a partner, family member, or even a friend, where you know you're not being treated as you deserve, the first step is to acknowledge your worth. Accept that you are entitled to respect, love, and reciprocity in your relationships. And I call that self-preservation, if you please. However, as much as we talk, as much as we know deep down inside that it's the right choice for our well-being, like I said, it ain't easy to let go. We go through a whole lot of emotions. Sometimes it's fear that holds us back, we don't want to be alone. And when especially that friend has been your closest bud in your small circle of friends. If you're a social butterfly, then losing one friendship may not hit you as hard, but in a situation where you have few friends, it does. But there's good news. There's always good news. You can get through this fear. I say think of yourself first, and there's nothing selfish about doing that. Get out there and rediscover who you are, what you enjoy outside of that relationship that you had to let go. You can even explore new activities. That's certainly one way of expanding your social circle, of getting to meet new people. But better yet, why not spend some time alone and enjoy your own company? It can be very, very revealing, I think, though, that the hardest thing for me was distancing myself from my sisters. Ironically, I'll tell you why later. First of all, there's the family pressure and the expectation that, as my mother would say, you all rolled and tumbled in the same belly. Therefore, we should let bygones be bygones. But I don't think that very often they understand how deep the pain is when there's a sister-to-sister clash. And you know what? You're going to grieve. You're going to grieve the loss, whether it's your ex-spouse, your sibling, child, or friend. Loss is real and loss is painful. But give yourself permission to grieve. Cry if you need to. Get it out of your system. Journal about how you're feeling. Or maybe you just write that person a letter even if you never send it. Don't carry the emotional burden alone. You can share it with someone you trust, like maybe enter a support group or meet with a therapist, and then let it go. Let it go. And create space for peace and healing. What I found in all the relationships that I had to let go was that putting space between us, setting boundaries, not having contact actually allowed me to heal. It freed me from any anger I'd been carrying and the disappointment which I felt. In fact, it turned out to be very good for my mental health. And now I'm in a place where I can revisit these relationships because I'm equipped with better coping strategies. Oh my God, this is a heavy topic, but an important one. So take a moment and picture yourself feeling lighter, freer, and moving forward with purpose just because you turned the pages and flipped the script on toxic relationships. Like I said, now you have space for creating new supportive relationships that will support you in this new chapter. So let's go ahead and take a look at those people, who they are, and how they will serve you. In my case, the title of my own story is Journey to Joy. So naturally, my peeps had to be happy people, people who had more positive traits than negative ones, people who I look forward to hearing when they called. I didn't just press decline and roll my eyes because they did. No, I look forward to hearing them. And with those toxic relationships now in the past, I became really intentional when selecting who I wanted to spend my time with. And so, like I said, I chose quality over quantity. And you know how I went about it? Well, grab that pen and paper, follow along, because I'm going to take you through this process on how I narrowed down my relationship list. It's a very simple process, and I think you'll appreciate how easy it is to implement. So first of all, I reflected. I thought about the people I genuinely enjoyed being around and where I knew the feeling was mutual because I could see it. Okay, I knew it. Then I asked myself, what made those relationships successful? And you know what it came down to? Honesty, mutual trust, unwavering support, and those thoughtful messages we'd send each other just because. It was the little things. It was also about compatibilities, or temperaments matched, or personalities clicked, and our interests were naturally aligned. I want you to give some thought to what specific qualities you value in friendships and write them down. On the other hand, when I looked at the relationships that had soured over time, I identified the qualities that were particularly challenging or hurtful. And you know what they were? Betrayal, dishonesty, and gossip. They topped the list. Many of these relationships were also imbalanced, what I call an I am pushing, are you pulling dynamic. That's what my English teacher used to say in high school. One example was a friend I'd known since high school, actually. During my marriage breakup, I confided in her about the difficult personal details of my situation, only to discover later that she had shared my private struggles with others. Do you know what the most painful part was? Is that in all of our years of friendship, she had never once shared any of her other friends' personal matters with me, and that betrayal cut deep. Let me tell you, today, I know lots of people, like I said, but my personal list has narrowed down to just 10 people, 10 friends with whom I share a quality, mutually respectful and loving relationship. And you know what? I'm happy. I'm happy with these quality friends. They are more than enough. Less truly is best. Okay? And as I move through life and I meet new people, those past experiences have given me the ability to carefully discern who belongs in my circle. I seek those people who are like-minded, who encourage and inspire growth, and who I can laugh with and freely and where joy flows effortlessly. There's no pretense, no drama, just authentic connections where the energy is vibrant and real. We share our dreams and we share them openly, the challenges, without fear of judgment, knowing that trust and privacy are sacred. So there's no need to say, don't tell anyone, okay? No need. These are my supporting cast in this new chapter of my life. These are the people I trust to walk with me or dance if we feel like it on my journey to joy. All right? Now you got some work to do. Take a moment, reflect on your own supporting cast. Who in your life lifts you up, supports your dreams, and brings joy into your days? Doesn't have to be a lot. Doesn't have to be a lot. And who might be holding you back, draining your energy or keeping you stuck in patterns that no longer serve you? They may be a lot. Okay? Go on, start your own list. Think about the qualities you value most in relationships. Is it honesty, trust, laughter, mutual support? And then ask yourself, who in my life embodies these qualities? And just as importantly, who doesn't? This is your story, your next chapter. And it's your chance to intentionally choose the people who will walk beside you on your journey. Let this be the moment where you take that first step forward, feeling lighter, freer, and pursuing a more joyful life. I have absolutely loved sharing my journey with you, and I do it openly, honestly, and from the heart. But now I want to hear about your journey. Enough about me. Share your story in the comments below, your struggles, your breakthroughs, your dreams, because we want to learn, we want to hear, okay? Remember, we're like fine wine, getting better every day. And every step forward brings us closer to the life we deserve. Imagine yourself and your supporting cast saying, "And look at me now." That moment is waiting for you. Be sure to catch the next video in this series where we'll take a look at how your environment can shape your well-being and also set the tone for your next chapter. Trust me, you won't want to miss it. Until next time, it's been a pleasure being here with you, and I look forward. Bye.